Good afternoon, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the last preseason game between the Rockets and the Spurs. So before we get into it, I definitely want to give my condolences to the Lost family. I know that Mr. Ed, he died, and he was the biggest Rockets fan before myself. So hopefully I could carry the torch, man, and do you justice, man, because I definitely remember all the games that I've ever been to that were home games in Houston. Saw you and your wife dancing and having fun, and you definitely were a couple of core memories for me. So rest in peace, man. I know Houston is behind you, and they love you. And my condolences to your wife, because I'm sure that was probably the first game last night that she's missed in a very long time. But we look forward to seeing you back at the games. So definitely shout out to the Lost family. To get into the game, Amen Thompson, man. Again, in the preseason, we're going to talk about improvements. Amen Thompson, man, you getting better at your 3-point shot, man. I'm definitely seeing an attitude change, a level of confidence that's changed in you, man. And it's not gonna come overnight, right? So you gotta definitely keep shooting them with confidence. You used to be at the point where you would shoot the ball, maybe one or two goes in, and then for the next 3 or 4 games, they wouldn't fall for you, right? So that's 2 games in a row, man. That's a step in the right direction, man. And like I said, it's not gonna happen overnight, but I love to see it, man. I love to see it, and you're gonna be a monster, man. You're gonna be a monster. And again, I'm your biggest fan, bro. Love to see you playing. Love to see your IQ showcasing itself. Keep doing your thing, amen. This next segment, talking about Dylan Brooks, I got to see a lot over the Olympics, right? You were playing with Canada, and it seemed like you brought something to the table, or there's a certain level of confidence that you played with when you were playing with Team Canada, and you bringing that to the Rockets. So, for what it's worth, it was a great experience for you to play in the Olympics, man, because we getting a newfound Dylan Brooks, and I'm loving it, man. It's going back to Oregon Dylan Brooks, the one that I saw, and it seemed like you had some game to you, man. I didn't know you as a defensive player, but I definitely knew that you could put the ball in the basket, man. 3-point shot, going crazy. So shout out to Dylan Brooks, man. We're gonna need your confidence, and we're gonna need your leadership throughout the year this year if we need to go if we're gonna go where we want to go. And again, before the season starts, first game of the year is against the Hornets. We're gonna set our goals high, and reasonable goals at that, right? 6th seed or the 7th seed, okay? And let's try to go far in that play-in tournament. We're young, guys. We got young legs. We're young. We looking for every experience, man, so we can build on our foundation. And we doing that. So we stepping in the right direction. We got the right coach to do the job. So I'm loving to see it, man. I'm loving to see it. Jalen Green, an improvement that I'm seeing with you, man, is as I've already said, man, your 3-point shot is definitely doing this thing. You are improving when it comes to your 3-point shot. But an improvement that I want to talk about is your decision making, number one, and number two, when we need a bucket, those aspects of the game, or those moments in the game where we feel like we can't score, there's a lid on the basket, man, you are our go-to guy, man. And in that moment, I'm specifically talking about at the end of the first half, you went to go get that ball, right? You didn't want to dilly-dally, didn't want to waste time. And even though it ended up with a missed shot at the end, I like the thought process in that. I like the thought process. I like how people are starting to grow and learn and be comfortable in the roles that they're in. So, man, I'm really excited for the year, man. Jalen Green, keep doing your thing. On to the third quarter. This is probably the highlight of the game I'm talking about here, man. We started the ball off. We had a great shot with Dylan Brooks. We ended up missing it. Jabari Smith Jr. got the rebound, and instead of putting up a contested shot, he understood that, hey, I got a better shot here, passed it out to Fred, and then Fred made the extra pass to get it to the hot hand, which was Jalen Green, for a wide open shot. And we were doing that. We were taking steps in the right direction last year when it came to that. But I love that we're building on foundation, and we understand that we don't got to be heroes and home run hitters every single time down the floor, right? We trust in our teammates, playing with our teammates, loving and respecting our teammates, man, and understanding that we're getting better together, right? The general manager, he definitely still has to explain to me, why did we give the Brooklyn Nets all their picks back? I'd love to have some answers and some clarity with that. But for the general manager, man, let these guys develop, man. Don't make any big trades unless we're getting somebody that has maybe championship experience, that's been deep in the playoffs, and feels like we can get over the hump. And I said that before, man. If it's not a Jaylen Brown type player, there's no need to break up this team that we got, man. So that's my message going into the season. There should not be any back-breaking, foundational breaking trades this year. If we falter in some way, and you think that we can get somebody good like a Ja Morant, Jaylen Brown, like the upper echelon players, then yes, let's go ahead and pull the trigger on that. But if it's, and I don't mean to call out names, right? If we're getting any players from the Nets, if we're getting any players from, if you're not a top 2 seed, and there's something that happens throughout this season, and we're not able to get like a top 10 player that has and top 10 player, the Anthony Edwards, the upper echelon players, those are the guys that we need to be looking at, seeing. Those are the only way that we're going to break up this team and break up this good chemistry that we got. So I just want our general manager to be thinking that and cognizant and being aware of that when it comes to this season. And Şengün, towards the end of the Spurs game, man, you're not gonna have a lot of posters, right? You might not be the most athletic guy, especially big man. But you can sure finish, man. You can sure put the ball in around the rim, man, and you can definitely be crafty, man. So I love to see it. This was definitely a highlight that you had there, man, and keep leading the team, man, because when you develop and they seen you putting in the work, everybody else is gonna want to put in the work, man. When they see you staying extra in the gym, shooting up free throws, getting better at your free throws, and they seeing that improvement, they like, okay, this is how the pros put in that work. This is how we get to the next level. This is how we set goals and then we accomplish those goals. So definitely shout out to Şengün, man. Again, man, you're not gonna have a lot of posters, but you sure can have some pretty highlights, bro. And I'll see y'all guys the first regular season game of the year, man. Hornets, this should be a winnable game. So, peace, y'all.
I'm famous. Ooh, I'm famous.